think, like everything else, a lot of things are developed, are entrenched through a process of education. We should try by all means, resources allowing, to expose our children to culture as early as possible, even from from the days of primary schools. And with that, my hope is that they will appreciate their culture and their cultural heritage and traditions, and they will grow up and they will also nurture those traditions. Music is indeed, and dance, as you said, is indeed a very, is integral part of our heritage, our cultural heritage. But to answer your question, whether I have had any, whether I did in growing up have any personal experiences in that regard, the short question would be no. But what I can say, some of you who are old enough would remember that my late mother was an accomplished Mokgibo dancer. And she in the household was always the person who did participate. But I would like to see that those traditions being passed on to the younger generation. And another important issue, when I say protecting our traditions and culture, is that I also feel that we should try and protect our cultural and our musical heritage from what I would say corrupting influences. Because, as you know, of course, culture is an evolving thing. It's not static. And because it evolves, we have evolved and created a music genre that is enjoyed by many Basotho for the last 20, 30, 40 years, which we now call Famu. It is part of our culture now. It was not our culture 100 years ago, but now it is, because culture evolves. But what we are seeing in recent years is the capturing and corrupting of that genre for nefarious purposes. So we have to try by all means to try and see that those sort of practices do not happen, that our culture remains as a culture that all can enjoy and that can represent us in a good light with our neighbors and across the world. Basically, now it has become a law and order issue. So the law enforcement agencies will have to do their role. And hopefully we should try and help those musicians who partake who are performing that form of music, those genuine musicians, to come up and to come to the fore and to declare that they are, they are not part of the criminality that takes place within that particular music industry. So we have to protect and promote the clean part of that music genre. They, as children and as human beings and as individuals, should accord everybody the respect that they deserve. That they should be humble, that they should be hardworking, and that, above all, they should remember that as a family, or as an institution, we are here and we became what we are because we are an institution and a family that serves the people. We are servants of the people, and we should not be sitting here expecting to be served. So those are the most important values that I often try to impart to my children, hoping that they are listening and they will adopt and so that they become responsible citizens and responsible leaders in their adult life. Of course, both of us have duties here at home, sometimes duties that will take us abroad. And we have the good fortune of having the ability to go to the office and then come back home, where at the office we can do what we have to do, or go to functions, official functions, and do what we have to do. But when we are home, we are home. The work stays at the office. So when the children are home, we try as much as possible to enjoy family life and create time with them. So we have been fortunate to have the ability to balance those two functions quite comfortably. We believe in the Christian component of marriage. We strongly believe that marriage, both of us coming from the Catholic tradition, that marriage is a sacrament. First of all, it's something that is ordained by God. So we strongly believe that it's something that has to be respected. As Christians, we have to respect that sacrament of marriage. And we try to keep it strong and strengthened by prayer as Christians. And when we are home, either the two of us or with the children, we pray together every evening. So that is something that we very much believe in. I think it has put us in good stead, and as far as a married couple, and as far as a family. And we hope that as we conduct ourselves and as we carry ourselves in public as a married couple, that we give other people, we lead by example as man and wife. And I can't say whether others Basotho look at it in that way, but it is our hope that we can be good examples of a married couple, and a good example of what a marriage can be. Of course, nothing is ever perfect. We have to strengthen our own political systems, our own constitutional systems, improve the administration of justice, the whole democratic architecture, and improve our institutions. But more importantly, we have to believe in them. I often think that we just talk about the rule of law. We talk about separation of powers. We talk about all of these noble causes and principles. But the people or the leaders that are given the responsibility by the people to be custodian of these institutions, many of them don't believe in their hearts and minds that they don't believe in those principles. So what we have to do, of course, as I said, strengthen them, but more importantly, those who come into these institutions, who are elected to be members of parliament, who are elected to be members of cabinet and so on, have to believe genuinely that believe those principles of separation of powers and all those other noble principles that we talk about when we are at the platform, or either domestically or internationally. So there's still a lot of work we have to do within ourselves as individuals so that we can accept. Because a lot of the things that uphold democracy are not written in any law, in any legislation. It is simply what at the end of the day will uphold democratic rule and principles is how you behave as a leader and as an elected official. So we have to internalize them and learn and just believe that those are the right thing to do, and we will live by them. On the issue of diplomatic relationships and diplomatic relations and diplomacy, I think I'll take this opportunity to remind to remind ourselves and everybody else that we are a country um, that is now celebrating 200 years, or will be celebrating 200 years next year. An independent country with unique geographical and geopolitical features, a country completely surrounded by one country. And it is because the founding father was a diplomat par excellence. So Basotho, even now, in dealing with the international community, should remember that diplomacy should always be the central pillar of our foreign policy, and we should always intensify our diplomatic interactions. And of course, nowadays you have to have skilled diplomats. So a lot of effort will have to be done will have to be made to ensure that we have skilled diplomats. But diplomacy is essential for our survival as a nation. And of course, being surrounded just by one country, the most important diplomatic relationship is with that particular country. Because we first of all, we are interlinked by blood, by history, by all sorts of things, and now even economically. So it is important that we have good diplomatic relations with our only neighbor. So a lot of effort will also have to go into that. But having said that, we are a member of SADC, we're a member of the African Union, we're a member of the UN and United Nations, and the Commonwealth, and so on and so forth. So we have to use those international platforms to also promote ourselves as a country and see how we can use, as we are already doing, those platforms and organizations to help us as a country in our economic, social, and political development. But the most important relationship will always have to be with our neighbor, the Republic of South Africa.